Hello and welcome back to Serenea Hears Children's Bedtime Stories and Meditations. Hi little one. Are you snuggled up in bed, all cozy and warm? Perfect! Because tonight, I'm going to tell you a very special Christmas story. It's called Santa and the Missing Reindeer. Let's begin. It was Christmas Eve, and children all around the world were sound asleep, dreaming of snowflakes, candy canes, and shiny presents. Up in the sky, Santa was flying through the clouds in his big red sleigh, pulled by his magical reindeer. There were lots of presents to deliver, but don't worry, Santa had a magical watch that helped slow down time. That way, he could visit every house before morning. Santa and his reindeer were flying over a cozy little town in England when they landed on a rooftop on Picket Road. Santa jumped out of the sleigh, grabbed his magic sack, and tiptoed down the chimney. Inside, everything was peaceful. There was a tall Christmas tree, a plate of cookies and milk on the table, and a sleepy little dog named Peggy snoring by the fire. Santa smiled. They even left a carrot for the reindeer. But then achoo! Santa sneezed from a sparkly Christmas card and accidentally stepped on a noisy toy. Crash! He bumped into the bookshelf, and the Christmas tree fell over. Peggy barked and ran to Santa, knocking him down in excitement. Oh! The whole family, Elliot, Heidi, Mom, and Dad ran downstairs and saw Santa on the floor, laughing with Peggy licking his face. Santa, are you okay? Asked Mom. Santa sat up, rubbing his head. I'm okay, just got a little jumbled. Heidi giggled. Did you like our card? I did. Santa smiled. But I didn't make it to the kitchen for my cookies. Just as Santa finished the cookies and milk, beep beep went his magical watch. Oh no! I'm running late, he said. Santa hurried outside to call his reindeer back down, but they were gone. Gasp! They must have thought I was back already and flew to the next stop, Santa said. The kids looked sad. We really wanted to give them the carrot. Then Dad had an idea. Let's help Santa find the reindeer. Yes, shouted Elliot and Heidi. So everyone hopped into the family car. Santa, the kids, Mom, Dad, and even Peggy the dog, and off they went. They looked everywhere. Lord's Avenue, no reindeer. Bernard Close, still no reindeer. The park, just grass and candy canes. The horse stables, only sleepy horses. Santa sighed. They've never disappeared like this before. Then little Heidi had a thought. Where do reindeer go when they're tired? They like resting in snow, said Santa. But there's no snow, said Dad. Heidi looked up. What about the clouds? They're soft like snow. Suddenly, she saw a faint glowing light in the clouds above. Could it be? Everyone jumped back into the car and followed the light. Soon they saw something magical. Santa's sleigh. But no reindeer. Elliot pulled out his carrot. How can I give it to them if they're up in the clouds? Santa smiled. Want to see something amazing? He reached into his magic sack, climbed into the sleigh, and invited everyone to join. But how will we fly without the reindeer? Asked Dad. With the power of Christmas magic, said Santa. Close your eyes, said Santa. Think about all the happy things you love about Christmas. And believe. They all closed their eyes and imagined opening presents, eating Christmas dinner, ice skating, building snowmen, and being together as a family. Whoosh! The sleigh began to glow and rise up into the air. They were flying without the reindeer. They burst through the clouds and there they were, The reindeer were lying in the fluffy clouds, resting and munching on little bits of snow. Santa counted them all. Wait, one's missing. He turned around and saw the last reindeer right next to the sleigh, happily munching the carrot from Elliot's hand. You did it! Santa cheered. Santa quickly got the reindeer ready. Time to get back on schedule. He flew the sleigh back down to Picket Road so the family could get their car. Before leaving, Santa gave each child a big hug. Will you come to dinner tomorrow? Asked Heidi. I'd love to. Santa smiled. But I already have a date with Mrs. Claus. Goodbye, Santa. They all waved, and with a final H-O-H-O-H-O, Santa flew off into the starry night sky. That night, Elliot, Heidi, and their parents climbed back into their beds with sleepy smiles. They didn't just get presents that Christmas. They got something even better, a magical adventure they'd never forget. Sweet dreams, little one, and may your dreams be filled with candy canes, flying sleighs, and twinkling stars. In a quiet village nestled between rolling hills and shimmering lakes, there lived a little girl named Luna. She was 5 years old, with soft curly hair the color of night and eyes like warm caramel. Luna loved to collect pretty stones, twigs shaped like stars, and feathers that glimmered in the sun. She lived in a cozy cottage with her grandmother, who always smelled like cinnamon and told the best bedtime stories. Each night, when the stars peeked out and the crickets began their gentle songs, Luna would curl up in bed with her blanket that had little silver moons sewn into the corners. And every night, she dreamed of places far beyond her little village, places with talking animals, glowing rivers, and skies that changed color when you laughed. But Luna didn't know that one such place was just beyond the edge of her garden. It happened on a late summer afternoon. The sky was painted with golden light, and a soft breeze carried the scent of wildflowers through the air. Luna was chasing a butterfly with wings the color of mint leaves when it fluttered through a crack in the garden fence, a crack she'd never noticed before. Curious, she crawled through the gap and tumbled onto a narrow path lined with tall, whispering trees. The leaves above shimmered in shades of emerald and blue, and the ground felt soft, like mossy pillows. Birds with feathers like brush strokes of watercolor chirped gently from the branches. "Hello," Luna whispered, looking around. A hush fell, and then she heard a faint giggle, like wind tickling chimes. "You're early," said a small voice. Luna turned and saw a rabbit. But not just any rabbit. This one stood on two legs, wore a tiny satchel, and had spectacles balanced on his furry nose. "You must be Luna," the rabbit said. "I'm Bristle, and this is a whispering woods." Luna blinked. The trees whispered? "Of course," Bristle replied, adjusting his glasses. "They remember everything, and sometimes they like to share. Come along, the woods have chosen you." The path wound deeper into the forest, where the light turned soft and silvery. Luna walked with Bristle past giant mushrooms that glowed softly and lantern bugs that floated like stars. Animals peeked from behind tree trunks, a shy fox with a leaf for a hat, a badger with a paintbrush, a deer that hummed lullabies. Bristle led her to a clearing where a very old tree stood. Its bark shimmered like polished wood, and its branches reached out like arms ready for a hug. "This is a memory tree," said Bristle. "She holds the dreams and worries of every visitor. Touch her, and she will show you what your heart needs." Luna stepped forward, placing a small hand on the warm bark. In an instant, the world faded. She found herself standing in the kitchen of her cottage, watching herself and her grandmother baking cookies. She felt the joy of giggles, the warmth of the oven, and the cozy comfort of being held. It was a morning her parents had gone away for their long journey, one they said would take a long, long time. She remembered hugging them goodbye, but not knowing it would be the last time. The ache she kept tucked deep inside bubbled up. Tears trickled down her cheeks. When the vision faded, Luna stood with her face pressed to the tree, eyes glistening. Bristle sat beside her silently. "Why did it show me that?" she asked softly. "Because a tree listens, even when you don't speak. It knows you're brave, but even brave hearts feel heavy." Luna sat down in the moss and hugged her knees. "Sometimes I miss them so much it feels like my heart is a balloon someone let go." Bristle nodded, his whiskers twitching. "Feelings are like the forest. They change with the seasons, but love is a root. It never goes away." As the breeze carried soft whispers through the leaves, the other animals gathered around. The fox gave her a leaf crown. The deer rested its head on her shoulder. The badger painted a tiny heart on her hand. Luna closed her eyes and breathed in the scent of earth and flowers and comfort. When Luna finally opened her eyes, the light had shifted. A gentle golden glow filled the clearing. Bristle stood and offered her his paw. "Come, it's time." He led her back along the path, through the woods now singing gently with wind and leaf. The trees whispered songs of courage and love, of remembering and letting go. At the garden fence, Luna turned and looked back. "Will I see you again?" "Always," said Bristle. "Close your eyes and listen. The woods are never far." Luna crawled back through the crack and into her garden. The butterfly fluttered by, its wings catching the fading sun. She walked inside, where her grandmother waited with warm cocoa and open arms. That night, as Luna curled under her silver moon blanket, she held a smooth stone in her palm, a gift from the memory tree. It pulsed with a soft warmth. She whispered to the night, "I miss you, but I carry you." The stars blinked kindly in return. And somewhere in the woods, the trees whispered her name. Even the smallest hearts hold whole forests of love.